I remember a few months ago when I made a video predicting that the trio of Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, and Bradley Beal, who all three currently play for the Phoenix Suns, will end up splitting before the trade deadline in this season, before the upcoming trade deadline this season. And a lot of people in that video responded by telling me how I don't know much about basketball, how I'm wrong, and blah, 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 blah. But it's funny because in this article that I read from Sports Illustrated, it stated how former NBA player Brandon Jennings went on Twitter and suggests that Kevin Durant should demand a trade to leave Phoenix, right? Which actually sort of go hand in hand with my prediction, because remember, if you guys saw that video, I stated how either one of these two players will end up leaving Phoenix. Either it'll be Kevin Durant or Bradley Beal. Devin Booker will not leave the Phoenix Suns anytime soon. So the players that will lead this split would either be Kevin Durant or Bradley Beal. So the fact that months down the line, you have a former NBA player who suggests that Kevin Durant leave, it's interesting to me. See, with this person, Brandon Jennings, right, who's been in the league for more than a decade, right? I think Brandon Jennings got drafted in the NBA like around 2009 or 2010. Someone can correct me if I'm wrong. Either 2009 or 2010 that Jennings got drafted, and he played in the league for at least more than a decade. Once again, if I'm wrong, someone can correct me. But for a player like him who have experience and firsthand experience being on the court playing against and side by side with certain players, understand the NBA game from not only from a perspective of a player, but from a business perspective, being that he experienced being a player. It's funny how he suggests that Kevin Durant should demand a trade from the Suns. It seems as if Brandon Jennings saw what I saw a few months ago when I stated that this trio will end up eventually splitting as a result of this team not doing well. In which so far I'm correct, because right now the Phoenix Suns are 10th place in the Western Conference right now. With a roster that the Phoenix Suns currently have, they shouldn't be 10th place in the Western Conference. Now, granted, the team's been plagued by injuries, right? Including the three stars. It's very rare that the three stars of the Phoenix Suns had a chance to play, all three of them play side by side with each other due to injuries, right? But regardless of that, the Phoenix Suns still have enough healthy weapons for them to at least remain within the top 8 teams of the Western Conference. But they're not even able to do that. I see a split within these three stars before this upcoming trade deadline, which is not too far from now, because as of the day that I'm recording this video, it's December 28th, 2023 on a Thursday evening. And the upcoming trade deadline will be what? February of 2024, something like that. The NBA trade deadline is always on February, right? So this upcoming trade deadline will be most likely in February of 2024. And since we're almost close to January of 2024, we're not that far from the NBA trade deadline, right? So although no moves have been made yet when it comes to any of these three stars of the Suns splitting, I still believe it'll happen. We still got time. Because for a team like that, to be number 10 in the Western Conference is a goddamn shame. You know? But once again, it's funny that when I made that video predicting that this trio in Phoenix will split, people in the comment section was criticizing me about that. But then we have an ex-NBA player who suggested something similar to my prediction because 9 times out of 10, he sees what I see. Brandon Jennings see what I saw months ago, that this trio will split. So let's see what'll happen. Let's see what's going to let's see what's only time will tell if my prediction becomes true or false. And like I said in that video, if my prediction ends up becoming false, I'll take that. I'll take the L. I'll acknowledge that, I was wrong. Because I don't have any issues acknowledging when I'm wrong. All right? So let's see what'll happen. Only time will tell. What you guys think? Oh, and by the way, the article that I'm referring to when Brandon Jennings suggests that Kevin Durant should demand a trade from the Suns, the link is located in the video description box underneath. All right? So just in case if you're interested in reading about this. So peace out.